Dr. Jacqueline Darna, who recently won the PepsiCo Choice Competition at the WeBank National Conference. That's just one of the many accolades she's received since starting her own business. The name of the business is NoMo Nausea. I hope I've said that correctly. Please welcome Dr. Jacqueline Darna.
Initial possibilities and not being pinned by creation, a company, or invention. You can take that umbrella and move your company in a direction that you would otherwise never have been able to do, and never settle for anything less. Lesson 1, unidos. As a peruana, as a crazy Latina, that word means united, together. It's an important word to describe business, because business is truly the business of people, not products or services. Tomorrow is a great example. I fly to Philadelphia, and I am in the running to be the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce this winner. But awards and pitching is not what business is about. Instead, it's about the connection and connectivity of people itself. I get to network with retail buyers, and I get to be able to use my advantage as a Hispanic female CEO. The key is recognizing that your differences are actually your greatest strengths. And my team, as diversified as they are, we have created a family foundation to a company. NoMo wristbands have changed the lives of millions of people, as we are now utilized in hospitals in 12 countries of the world for people with anesthesia and surgery, chemotherapy and cancer, all the way through to delivery and labor suites, all across the world. And that all happened not because I invented acupressure or invented essential oils or aromatherapy. It's because I made that mousetrap just that much better. Combining those three things together and utilizing the Eastern world that's been practiced for thousands of years in medicine with modern medicine. And now finally, we are in a spot to be able to recognize the beauty in both. The problem was, I never took a business or a marketing class. And let me tell you, old-fashioned marketing sucks. Do you guys know that in one of the stores, CVS, that we're in, it costs $100,000 to be in an ad for 1 week, and we just throw it away or leave it in the rain in the shopping cart? So I had to be entrepreneurial in the fact of how I was going to be able to target my key customers. So we created an OBGYN medical mailing program where we sent hundreds of thousands to physicians and said, don't buy my product, even though it can stop 80% of your patients from having morning sickness. Instead, I just want you to give my cards, coupon cards, to your patients. And by the way, pregnant women change every single month. They're brand new, right? This not only helped me to solidify retail stores, but allowed me the opportunity to sell it off the shelves and give it to the people that needed it then and not later. That's the beauty. And now we're in over 10,000 retail stores, including CVS, Bed Bath & Beyond, Bye Bye Baby, Amazon, Walmart, all of these other entities, and much more. So they're getting it now and not later. So you're probably wondering, how the heck did she do this in 4 years by being a complete bootstrap company with no investment capital? The short answer is, thanks. The short answer is, I went medical first because that's what it is. I'm a physician. In not taking any of those classes and not knowing the right way in business, I knew I needed to make money, and they pay. So business has to make money. If you're not making money, then it's just considered a hobby. Once I was in medical and basically paid the bills, right, my little mouths to feed of my 2 children, I was then able to say, well, let me jump on this website bandwagon. And NoMoNausea.com and NoMoMigraine.com was created. Plus moving forward with Amazon. And then at the same time, you meet these incredible retailers that actually want to buy your product. And the reason why is because of the fact that they are looking for diversified, women-owned, Hispanic, veteran companies. Lesson 2, selling and buying, America's pastime. Ladies, pitch to them if they have a pulse. I'm a walking billboard for myself. You will always see me with NoMo Nausea. I even have gym attire. Because people ask me, wait, do you have the word nausea on your clothes? Yes. And then I tell them what I do. It's incredible because with just one example started this entire company. I was pitching in Canada a one-day there and back trip to a pharmacy. And I struck up a conversation with a gentleman who didn't have any luggage. He was sitting there at the bar. Of course I talked to him. Told him I had created NoMo wristbands, and he loved the story. So much so, he says, hey kiddo, look out that window. You see those planes? Those are mine. Air Canada just wraps them with marketing. He then introduced me to my first ever retailer in airports. So we were in 18 different airports in the country. That was my first sale. He's very well known here in Tampa, and was the CEO of Stellar Enterprises, who then recommended and nominated me to be the Tampa Chamber of Commerce winner. It's like a startup cohort for people who have great ideas, but just don't know exactly where to go from there. And then all of a sudden, that snowballed these awards. I figured out if I pitch to these people, they'll listen. And then I can even have even better success. So it started this crazy thing. Have you guys watched Shark Tank? Mm-hmm. I won Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington's Big Pitch, followed by WeBank PepsiCo competition, then Small Business of the Year, Business Women of the Year, HSN, American Dreams, that just happened a few days ago, Surgical Product of the Year, and again, EY's Entrepreneurial of the Year as a finalist. So the moral of the story is you just never know who you're sitting next to. So talk to them. Tell them what you do. When I couldn't get into medical school my first year, I was a high school chemistry teacher. So I'm sorry if this is painful for some of you guys, but I'm going to bring you back to chemistry, to a word called catalyst. So what catalyst is you take your starting points and your ending points, and a catalyst is a way to be able to get you from your start to your end point faster and doing less work. So find your catalyst. For me, I found that free marketing by writing to different magazines and Haro. I pitched at conferences and speak at the conferences that I already wanted to attend, and I was interviewed, and I'm on TV and radio, like NPR actually today, just for my cool story. I still can't believe when I saw my article in Forbes, and the title reads, meet a founder that can get rid of your nausea and migraines. All free, because my story makes me different, and it's cool. The birth story of the NoMo Nausea Band started when I was in the operating room giving birth to my daughter via emergency C-section. I got sick for 3 days straight. No one could stop my vomiting, no medication, nothing. So they walk in the room and say, I'm gonna put you into a medically induced coma. Never done it before, but that's your only option, kid. I said no, and then grabbed some napkins that were next to me and applied acupressure that I had learned in anesthesia school on one quick slide in medicine. Then at the same time, one of my family members brought me a peppermint plant that they had bought from Home Depot and said, I read this on Google. It might help you. Oh my gosh, it did. I smelled it, but I looked like a princess, Arabian princess. I had like peppermint leaves all over my hospital stay, and I never had them when I needed them. So I combined the leaves, grabbed a piece of tape and put it with acupressure and said, man, I gotta buy this. This worked. The problem is no one had ever combined the two. So, crazy enough, after having a brand new baby, I wasn't sleeping anyway, I wrote my provisional patent, emailed my patent, or my plastics engineer that I was talking about at the beginning of the story. He found me a medical manufacturer, got product packaging from someone I had met at United States of America, no lie, and in 6 months I had my product staring at me in my doorstep. That's when the real work started. You can't tell where you're going unless you know where you came from. After having lunch with one of my mentors, who is extremely well known in Silicon Valley, has raised more money than I can even say or think of, she asked me a series of questions about successful CEOs. And she said, "Are you an only child?" I said, "Pretty much. I have 2 half-sisters that are 20 years younger than me." "Were you wealthy growing up?" "Hell no." "Did you mostly have friends that were girls in high school?" "No, actually, I ended up hanging out with boys because it was less drama." She said, "It's incredible that you answered all 3 of those the exact same way that this book said. And the reason why me and you make these great CEOs is because we take what we want and we don't ask." My mom is incredible. She put all of her time, effort, and dedication into me because I was her only. And she said, "I'm amazing and can do anything. From cheerleading to astronomy in school." She said, "You can do it. Doesn't matter what it is, but you'll be great." She taught me that the world does revolve around me. So in business, I think the exact same way. Make it come to me, don't go to them. And just recently, I found out that she actually worked my entire childhood. I thought she was a stay-at-home mom. She worked nights. She worked nights when I was asleep, or worked on the weekends when I was with my dad. And that's exactly what I did when I had this idea of a company. I worked my 7 to 5 in the hospital, making money so that I could pay for all my tooling and keep this business running. And then I worked my 5 to 7 on my company. Only here in America can you go to school for over 12 years, become a naturopathic physician, and then make wristbands for a living. It's incredible. So how do you make it work? Acknowledge that there's only 24 hours in the day, and set realistic goals. My personal think tank is the shower, and I read a Bible verse every morning to center myself. Network with those that can get you 10x, 10 times where you're at right now by just talking to one other person. And don't try to harpoon a goldfish in an ocean. There are catalysts and things that are out there that can help you get there even quicker. And if you're looking for something, find it. Search. It's easier to be a big fish in a small pond, and there's shortcuts for every profession. You don't always have to go through the front door. Financial freedom was my goal, and the reason why I ended up leaving medicine. I promised myself that I would leave as soon as my company was making 3 times the amount that I was making in the hospital. Well, I left about 2.5 years ago, and my business quadrupled in growth. I should have done the darn thing sooner. So leap. It's worth it, I promise. My dad, as a Peruvian immigrant, desperately wanted to be a United States physician. I saw the struggles that he faced in learning the language, the uphill battle of completing medical school when I was little, and both of my parents raising me with very, very little, but I honestly thought I was the richest girl in the world. Lesson 3, alive and thriving. Do you get scared? Well, of course you do. You're alive. Fear, as we had talked about earlier, is what sometimes stops people. Take that open door. When you open one door, there's usually 10 more to follow behind it. And if a door slams in your face, do what The Rock says. Kick that beep down and reintroduce yourself. It's exactly what happened very recently when NoMo Sleepless Nights, my brand new product for sleep that helps to put people off to sleep faster and keep them asleep longer, naturally, and all on their wrist. I had this great idea. I had buyers, and my board said no. They said, "You will go financially bankrupt." So I said, "Oh, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna figure this out." So I was extremely adamant. Guess what I did? I found out that WeBank was having a cash prize for a pitching competition. So I submitted my video along with hundreds of thousands of others. I was top 3 finalists. Amongst all of the retail buyers that I could ever imagine that's there at their annual conference, I had to give a 3-minute speech. I was scared to death. I almost lost my voice. But what I forgot in my actual speech, I went over with energy and passion and showing them that I can truly do this and I can change the way that we women sleep every night. And I won. And in doing so, that gave me not just the money, but I actually am getting mentored by PepsiCo executives, which Pepsi, the drink that we all know, all over the United States. And that thrusted me even more because I was helped with a pitch coach who just happened to be the vice president of procurement for IBM. He then walked me up hand in hand and said, come here, kiddo, I want you to meet blank from Target. My next meeting is on Tuesday. So those were the connectivity and connections and not just the money. And don't think that I'm just a one-trick pony that stands up here. No more pain, no more sleepless nights, no more hot flashes, all of these wonderful ideas. I just have to make it work financially. Remember that if you're not scared, it means you're not dreaming big enough. That's right. The dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. I'm living, breathing proof that the American dream is alive and thriving. Thank you guys all for having me.